Alright lads, welcome back. We're here in the mighty Cheesh apartment with another episode of the Leather
Great content.
The Leather Poison podcast.
We should just change our YouTube channel to great content.
Content that matters. So I'm just going to go through what we've got here. So we've got the Eagles scarf because we love the Eagles.
Well,
I mean,
our love is on the rocks at the moment.
Would you like to say maybe love-hate?
A love-hate relationship. Yeah. So we'll get into that a bit later in the episode.
Yeah.
But it was a massive week of sport in general on the weekend.
Huge week.
I'm a Leicester fan, but I also like Liverpool because when I was young, Leicester weren't a big team. So Liverpool lost in the FA Cup to Man U.
And we were almost going to stay awake for that at 1 o'clock in the morning.
I'm glad I didn't.
Thank God for that. And
Your team lost?
The mighty Tottenham Hotspur. What a
No
club.
surprises there that they lost.
3-0 to make top four. So our team's lost.
West Coast lost.
West Coast
They got
lost.
smashed. I mean, Port Adelaide kicked 16 goals, 24. If they had kicked the opposite of that, say they kicked 24 goals, 16, then they would have won by like 90 to 100 points.
Yeah.
You know? So like the fact that Port Adelaide was so inaccurate actually like it kind of hides how badly West Coast got beaten.
Simo's come out and said Gaff's dropped on a Monday. He said that.
Yeah.
Which is pretty unheard of.
Well, he had 4 touches and got subbed out of the game. So I think a bit of brutal honesty is good. Freo won. I mean, it's never a good week when West Coast lose and Freo win. You kind of cop it for a week from the Freo mates.
Have we heard today about Eagles?
Well, I don't know. You tell me.
Oscar Allen.
Oh, yeah. The Big O. The Big O out for several weeks. Another lower leg injury. Stress fracture in the knee. I've never even heard of that. Like, I've heard of, like, stress fracture in, shin or bloody ACL, PCL.
Yeah.
Stress fracture in knee. I mean, West Coast, I know you're listening. You need to get some experts at that training ground at yours. Because you are shooting yourself in the foot, literally. All your injuries are leg and foot injuries.
When Leather Poison gets hold of this, of what you're doing to our players...
Well, we've already got hold of it.
Well, we're going to do a test. And we're going to spread this news worldwide, and there's going to be repercussions. Because we're absolutely sick of it.
All right, well, we can talk about that at the end, but let's get to the first game that we're going to cover. Thursday night, Saints versus Collingwood at the G. So, Saints lost to the Cats down at Cardinia Park, and Collingwood lost to Sydney. So, both teams looking for a win.
Yeah.
Saints will regain Jack Sinclair.
Yeah.
And Tom Mitchell will play for Collingwood. Ash Johnson, like Gaff, is going to go back to the State League, and John Noble might get a look in for Collingwood. So how do you see this game shaping up?
It really is a tough tip, Cheesh. It's really been bugging me all week.
Yeah.
It's 2 big Melbourne clubs. Shocking start to the season.
I wouldn't say the Saints are a big Melbourne club, but Collingwood definitely, yeah.
They're fairly...
It's a big rivalry. Saints won their only flag against Collingwood in 1966 by how many points, Picky?
5.
1 point.
True.
So they won 1 premiership in their entire 150-year history by 1 point. So this game always means a lot to Saints fans. Of course, we had the 2010 grand final, which was a draw, and then Collingwood smashed them in the replay.
Yeah.
So it's a big game. It's a big rivalry.
The Pies do love playing at the G.
They do.
And I feel like...
It's a Saints home game, but it's
but
not really, is it?
It's not really.
Because there'll be more Pies fans there.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
the Saints usually play at Marvel, so...
Jack Sinclair's a big in, though.
That is a big in.
He All-Australian last year, I believe.
Yeah.
Could be a game changer. I just think it's going to be another nail-biter.
Yeah.
Where to go. I'm just going to have to say Saints because Collingwood looked dismal last week.
They looked pretty bad, yeah. They looked like they're definitely hungover.
Yeah.
Premiership hangover.
Yeah,
brewing at the Pies. I'm going to go Pies, though. I think they'll be too strong at the G. Friday night, we got Adelaide versus Geelong at the at the Adelaide Oval. So this is as part of the AFL's like kind of reparations to Adelaide after round 23 last season when they should have kicked a goal to beat Sydney, but the umpire made a bad call. As part of like reparations for that, Adelaide have been given 5 Thursday night and Friday night time slots this season, which I reckon is fair enough. Like, I can't really think of a better way of, giving them, something back for a decision that was frankly like disgraceful.
Yeah, and they haven't really reinvested in the goal line technology. Well, it was the umpire's fault.
It was the umpire's fault.
It was completely the umpire's fault.
But maybe we just need sensors in the post or sensor in the ball, which can like immediately notify someone upstairs or the umpire on field that the ball has not hit or hit the post.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the AFL is looking into it for next season. I did hear about the potential for sensors in the ball next season because they have it in the Premier League with the goal line technology.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have it in other sports as well. Taylor Walker, he should play after a back niggle. He's massive. He is a massive player. Like, he can kick on his right and left. I thought he was done. I thought he was done a couple seasons ago, but he played so well last year. I think he's definitely, you can pencil him in for a 50-goal season, 100%. He may even push 60, especially if they make finals, which I think they should. Yeah. Jake Saligo should start because he played really well as a sub against the Suns.
Yeah.
He really, he was part of that like massive shift in pressure during, halfway through the third quarter. Mm-hmm. Adelaide were down and out against the Suns. They came back, got it back to 6 points, had a chance to maybe draw the game.
Right.
I tipped Adelaide.
I've gone Geelong. Even though it's in Adelaide, I just think Geelong on their day are too strong. Hopefully danger fires up. I think Geelong also have some ins. Tanner Bruin.
Well, he's maybe because he's got a sprained foot.
Okay.
Jed Buse may play in place of Tanner Bruin. Yeah. And Brandon Parfitt. Jed Buse and Brandon Parfitt played for Geelong's VFL side last week, and they both played pretty well in a victory. Yeah. So they could get their chance to play for the first team.
Look, I don't really mind, but I think Geelong, at the end of the day, too strong.
Too strong?
Yeah.
Hawks versus the Demons at the MCG. This is like the white collar battle. Yeah. Melbourne, they're just a white collar team. Hawks, they're from the eastern suburbs of Melbourne. Very, very posh. So I'm coining this the white collar game.
So I actually watched
2 teams I hate, by the way. I don't like any of these teams.
Well, I don't mind Melbourne because, mate, I watched the game on the weekend, Western Bulldogs Melbourne. Clayton Oliver is back, ladies and gentlemen.
I hope so.
The bloke put on a masterclass. Did he have a pretty big off-season? Did he get up to a few things that maybe he might regret?
I mean,
Definitely.
it's not like no one else got up to similar things during the off season.
Well, what'd you get up to?
Oh, well, I'm not going to say that, but you know, bunch of hypocrites in this land we call Australia.
What are you talking about?
They're very easy to have a go at fellow professionals when, I don't know, maybe they're not up to too much good themselves. Anyway, that's a conversation for another day. But it's good to see Oliver back. He seems to have got his head screwed on.
He's looking
James
good.
Sicily, he didn't have his head screwed on.
He had a little.
week.
He had a little. What did you do? Kick. Who was it? Merritt?
Kicking-
No,
he had a-
McGrath.
He had a kicking charge overturned at the tribunal.
Yeah.
So he originally got the suspension 1 week, and it got overturned. Well, yeah, overturned. Now he's just got a $2,500 fine, which is nothing. Fair enough. It wasn't really a big issue. I saw the footage. I wasn't really blown away. What did you?
It looked like he didn't even touch him.
Yeah.
Bit of a joke that he got.
Ben
sent to the
Brown was
tribunal.
massive for the D's last weekend. 2 goals, 6 marks. I mean, you can always, in dry conditions, you can pretty much pencil him in for 2 goals. He's big, he's strong.
He's big.
He's an accurate set shot for goal.
Yeah, I mean, he's got, 100-metre run-up that works.
Yeah.
He literally ran from the centre square to the 50-metre line, and I just thought he wasn't going to stop. It was actually bizarre, but it works, and definitely I've got Melbourne over Hawks.
Yeah,
After last
I
week.
would have to tip Melbourne. Hawks were impressive against the Bombers. I thought the Hawks were better than the Bombers for 2.5 quarters, but they just didn't put it on the scoreboard. And in the end, Jake Stringer took over. So
Stringer the Pinger, what a legend.
Harrison Petty might play for the D's. He played 3 quarters in the VFL last week. So, I mean, he's a big player for them. Do you think he'll play?
Yeah,
I think they'll risk him. They'll
Gun.
risk him even if he's 90% there. I think he's good enough. They'll risk him.
Gun.
Saturday night, Sydney versus the Bombers, the mighty Bombers, at the SCG. So Sydney
look
looked good.
unbelievable. I was shocked when I watched them against Collingwood.
Yeah.
They've got everything going for them.
Yeah.
Tackling, kicking, there's just everything's.
I've still got question marks about their forward line. Is Joel Amati and Logan McDonald, are they able to stand up in a big finals game and boot, 2 or 3 goals each? Because that's what they're going to have to do.
Buddy Franklin is
Big
gone.
forwards dominate finals.
Yeah.
You can't rely on Papley to kick 3. You've got to have a big marking target. I think they've got good coverage across the rest of the field, apart from a tall forward. They've got a season to prove themselves, though. It's only the start of the season, and this is the question mark I have.
Yeah.
They could end the season, one of them could kick 50 goals this season and have good confidence going into the finals. So I think they're definitely going to make top 4. I think they're a big premiership threat.
Well,
They always are.
Logan McDonald's a WA boy.
Yeah.
We love our WA boys,
Yeah.
and I've got him a shoe-in for 50 goals.
All right. So Swans have got no injuries. So they should just play the same team, right?
Well, if John Longmire,
yeah.
he's got
Don't get those two confused,
has
mate.
got his head screwed on, I believe there should be no changes.
However, Zach Reid, Mason Redman, and Guelphy from Wembley Downs, what a legend. They're sidelined. So Guelphy's got a calf. Redman is on suspension, and Zach Reid's got a hamstring. Darcy Parish could be back into the side though. That's a big inclusion.
Yeah, I mean, he gets so many touches, but his efficiency can often be his downfall.
He kicked a good goal last week.
He racks him up, but is he a game changer?
Well,
is he an Isaac Heaney or a Chad Warner, where they just out of the pack hit a target?
So Sydney, you've got Sydney to win this one. Oh. What if Sam Draper plays?
Shit, that's
the big Drape.
I love
Drape the grape.
I love
no,
Drape.
He's definitely not a grape.
I love him, but I'm sorry, mate.
Sydney.
Grundy, mate. Grundy against maybe three.
Grundy will be all over him.
Oh, Grundy loves these sort of occasions.
Yeah, fair enough. Sunday Arvo. Tigers versus Port at the G. Port, as we said before, they smashed West Coast.
Yeah, but...
Should have been by more. The Tigers lost to Carlton. They were impressive against Carlton.
The Tigers looked really good.
Yeah.
They should have won that. They just sort of let themselves down against Carlton.
Yeah.
But Port's goals against Eagles, the bloke, what's his name, that kicked him from like 60 metres?
Farrell.
Yeah.
Farrell. Yeah.
He kicked like 2 bombs. You can't really defend that.
Yeah, he's got an absolute leg, that bloke.
Yeah, and then some of their goals weren't great. They didn't, even though they won by so much, they weren't.
They do play a very
impressive.
Port play an untidy brand of footy, like they have done for a while. I think they're a tough team. Yeah. They've got a lot of like really, really good role players, but they just don't. I mean, Zach Butters is an excellent player, so is Rosie, but I do question their forward line. Charlie Dixon he's never had a 50-goal season, Charlie Dixon. He's constantly injured. He's getting old. And then you've got Todd Marshall, who...
Playing well.
I don't think... he didn't kick any goals.
He didn't kick one.
He didn't kick any goals against West Coast. And he's unreliable in front of goal. And then you got Finlayson, which is... I mean, he's an identical player, really. Just doesn't always perform unreliable in front of goals. So, yeah, I don't know, like...
Hang on. Dion Prestia. Just did his hammy, out for 8 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll speak of another ageing player. He's
certainly the meatballs.
The human meatball.
The human meatball.
The human meatball's cooked. He is too well done for my liking.
Overdone. The hammies have just been overdone.
So the Tigers are thinking they might get Jacob Kazitsky into the side to replace Gipkus. Because Jacob Kazitsky's played a bit of backline in the past.
Has he?
Yeah, at the Hawks.
Yeah.
But Josh Gibkus, torn ACL,
difficult name to pronounce. Gibkus.
WA boy. So thoughts go out to you.
Another ACL.
Another ACL. It's not just a West Coast. Well, West Coast doesn't have ACL issues. They have lower leg. Like knee down to foot issues. A lot of foot issues.
Well, mate.
And stress fracture
everything
knees.
Issues, mate. Dom Sheed hurt his eye last year. How do you hurt your eye socket?
Yeah.
Anyway. Kaczynski playing back. Jeez, who do we go? Tigers or Port at the G? I'm going to have to go. I want the Tigers to win. I do.
So you're going to tip them?
Yeah, I'm going to... Oh.
I mean, the Tigers were good against Carlton. But
good.
I feel like they held on. Like, it wasn't like, Carlton should have won the game easily in the last quarter. They had like 2 or 3 goals, which were absolute gimmies. Remember when Charlie Curnow got run down in the goal square?
Yeah.
When he played on.
Yeah, fair.
I mean, the Tigers, you can't take anything away from them. They lost by 3 points, but I just feel like Carlton probably should have won by 20. But, I'm going to tip Port. I think they were good against West Coast. They've got a knack of beating teams that they should. Like, the teams that they struggle against are the ones around them.
Right.
You know, they've been good the past couple seasons, but they've lost, you know, critical finals.
Yeah.
So, I mean, pretenders. They get
Port Adelaide are very good in the home and away.
They are.
They won 10 straight last season.
They're the mid-season marvels.
Yeah, okay. I'm going
you know?
Port. I'm going Port.
All right.
Yeah.
So, we move on to the next segment. Minzy's Multi.
Struth.
So
This is one of our leading segments on the podcast. It's had great reviews.
Great reviews.
Have they come off yet? Any of the multis?
No, none of them have come off. But
well, that's fine
we'll keep working on it.
Just put your money down and see how it goes.
So let us know what you think about this. We've got Matt Crouch for 25. We're banking on an Adelaide win here. We're thinking Adelaide are going to win. They're going to have lots of ball in the forward half, more goal scorers. So Matt Crouch, he's going to get it done out of the middle. He's going to provide some supreme service to the forwards. He's going to have 25 touches.
25?
Yep. Rory Ladd's going to have... They've had like over 25 their past 4 games. You know, you can pencil him in. Rory Ladd, I mean, he's just so good at rebounding off the halfback flank. I can envisage Geelong panicked kicks out of Adelaide's forward line.
Yeah.
Rory Ladd grabbing it, booting it back in. I can see that happening 25 or more times. Tom Stewart, I mean, he's a legend. He's an absolute veteran of the game. He never seems to have a bad game, Tom Stewart. So I've got him for 20. I've got Max Holmes for 20. Up-and-coming player. I think he's going to have a massive season. Patrick Dangerfield for 20. What do you reckon about that? I wasn't so sure about that one. But he had 23 touches last week and he kicked a goal.
No, he's a shoo-in for 20.
I've got Taylor Walker for 2. And I've got Josh Rochelle for 2.
Yeah.
Josh Rochelle, I mean, he's paying $2.45 for 2 goals.
Yeah.
But he kicked 3 last week and Adelaide kicked like 8 goals for the game. So surely dry conditions, higher scoring, he's going to get 2. Jeremy Cameron, I think, you know, Tommy Hawkins, he's not washed, but, you know, Cameron has definitely taken over like the mantelpiece of like the premium tall forward at Geelong. So I think he's their go-to man. They're going to be targeting him. 2 goals for him. I got Patrick Dangerfield for a goal. I like pairing up a disposal getter with a goal getter. Also, he's an ex-Adelaide player. Maybe he's got something to prove.
Yeah.
And I've got Darcy Fogarty for a goal because he never misses.
No,
Darcy Fogarty never misses.
What are the odds?
Well, if you put $10 on that, that'll get you $600 return.
And if you get $600, what you can do is go to the Crown, put it on black, win, and then you get 1.2k. And there's your trip to flight to
Bali.
I'd go flight to Europe.
Yeah.
Personally, maybe a nice Italy sort of area.
If you go to Bali, then you've got money for a bit. You know, you've got a bit of leftover money, and we know where that could go.
Food.
Should we have a quick... I mean, it's only 2 matches in, but we should have a quick look at the ladder because Gold Coast are 3rd. Like, that... Once in a blue moon.
Great. Love it.
Obviously,
Gold Coast.
G-Dub first.
GWS
Swans,
first, yeah.
2nd. And then Gold Coast 3rd.
Okay, well, we're sick of Vic bias, so this is probably the best ladder. If Eagles were up there, this would be the best ladder going around.
I love the, you know, the history that the Victorian teams have, and without the Victorian teams, we don't have a league. But I would really like to see someone outside of Victoria take it out this season. So I think it's going to be the Giants or Sydney. Obviously, Carlton. I mean, I'm still not sold on Carlton. They've won both their matches by less than a goal, you know?
I feel ya, yeah.
But But I did want to talk about the Gold Coast Suns.
Yeah?
Because
Do we have some little intel, something?
we do have a bit of intel.
Yeah.
Damien Hardwick, obviously, he's a champion coach. It got a little bit rocky at Richmond.
How so?
Well, he left his wife. He started dating I think it was the financial director someone involved in the finance department.
Could it have been?
Richmond.
Oh, okay, not physio.
Not the physio. It was someone in the finance department.
Right, okay.
And it's very well publicised. He lost the respect of the leadership group. Yeah. Trent Cotchin, Dylan Grimes.
Complete affair.
Well, I don't know if it was an affair, but he left his wife of 20 years to date, another girl. I mean, that's fine. You do what you want to do, but the Richmond players, especially the older ones in the leadership group, they didn't respect that. He was a guy they were looking up as like, he embodies like the family, environment, a good husband, good father. And, he's like gone and left his wife and now he's dating someone who's a little bit younger than him. Hey, I'm not commenting on what's good or not, but I'm just saying they didn't rate it. But
yeah, what about?
He's gone to the Gold Coast.
Yeah, and what's happened?
And I mean, I can't think of a man more in his element right now. I mean, I just think Gold Coast is the party capital,
and they're dominating. Gold Coast are absolutely dominating. So Chris has done a little bit of deep diving into this, and what's the correlation between Dimmer and the Gold Coast winning? And I think we've come up with something, haven't we?
Well, we've had some intel from the Gold Coast Suns. This was just sent in today, and the motto for the season at Gold Coast is flings equals flags, everybody. So keep that in mind. Flings equals flags. They're third place at the moment. They're undefeated. What can you say, really? It's worked a treat.
Oh, I think we've definitely stumbled across something here that's game changing.
Thanks Gold Coast for that.
And we reckon. What do you reckon? Second favourite team, Gold Coast, purely because Dimmers loves a bit of cheekiness.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like their jersey and I don't like their logo, but it's good to see him doing well. I like Dimmer.
Okay.
All right, so rounding out the 8, we've got Freo. Freo had a big win against... Who did Freo play?
They played Brisbane, Chris.
Brisbane.
Nah, look, we don't like Freo, but they were good.
They were good.
You cannot. They had 3 injuries in the game. Brisbane made the grand final. I was looking for something to just, throw at them. Like, they could have done this better. They were great, and that's really annoying. So they're looking good, and good on them.
And then if we scroll down to the bottom of the ladder, we've got the not-so-mighty West Coast Eagles. So
do you think, since they brought in this new song, what's it, Birds of Tokyo?
Don't get me started, mate. Don't get me started.
So they brought in this has been heavily discussed within Western Australia. They brought in the new song, paid Birds of Tokyo.
That was 4 years ago.
The song is shit.
The song is shit.
It reminds me of a dying cat.
If you're watching from Melbourne and you're not, or Sydney or wherever, and you're not aware of this, just search up West Coast Eagles theme song. Get the new one, because they changed it 4 years ago. And just let us know in the comments if you like the song, because I can assure you, no one of the age of under 30 likes this song. It might appeal to some 40-year-old in a midlife crisis, but
anyway,
other than that,
since they brought that in, Eagles have been doing terribly.
Terrible.
So there could be footy gods out there. There could be some footy gods out there that's just saying change the song back to its original one.
Well,
and haven't you emailed in or something like that?
I have sent a few emails.
And have we heard any information in the past couple of weeks?
I just get generic responses saying, at West Coast, we look to maximise. We aim to maximise the game day atmosphere for every round of the AFL fixture. That's what they say.
Last couple of weeks, rumours swirling, they're changing back.
Yeah, but they played Port on Sunday, and the coverage didn't show the song, and obviously they didn't win, so we didn't see the song at the end of the game, and the coverage didn't show it at the start of the game, but I feel like we would have heard about it if it was going to happen. I'm hoping and praying they're gonna reveal it at the home game.
I think they will.
At the home game against the Giants.
And then now they're going to start winning, and they're going to win the flag this year, so that's great.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. Didn't expect them to do it in 2018, but I mean, it could just be a bridge too far this season.
Possibly.
Especially after conceding double the scoring shots against Port Adelaide.
Yeah. So, are there any more games that we need to review for this week? Or are we...
Gold Coast playing Bulldogs.
Gold Coast Bulldogs, I'm going Bulldog. Oh, no.
That's a tough one. They're playing in Ballarat. They're playing out in the sticks.
Gold Coast.
Gold Coast.
Lock it in.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. I'm completely on the fence.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's all we need to talk about. You guys have probably got bored of us, so...
Nah, we've got a few more things to talk about. We've got... I want to discuss Roaming Brian. I'm not sure what's so funny about that. He's actually a great bloke.
No, it's a very funny segment, but seriously, it is a great segment. I love roaming. I love Roaming Brian. You don't like roaming BT?
The first year I was like, nah, I cannot stand this. And now it's just the best. That's what I look forward to after the game. I honestly do. He's so funny. If I could have a beer with anyone,
I want to have a beer with BT.
BT, like 100%.
BT, if you're listening, he is from WA. I'm pretty sure he's from WA. You've been mistaken for thinking that, but I'm pretty sure he was born in WA. BT,
we'll have to get our chief editor.
BT, next time you're in WA, next time you're in Perth, come grab a beer at the Albion with us. We're there every Sunday afternoon. So just swing by.
Chris is there every day, so you'll probably see him there.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely not there every day. Well, I thought that was a great show.
We're done already.
Yeah, we're done already. I mean, time flies when you're having fun.
Well, it's chief editor. He's from WA. So there we go. That's the brains behind this operation.
Well, this show doesn't happen without Mike behind the camera. So he's just confirmed with us that BT is a WA boy.
Yeah.
So again, BT.
So lads,
listening,
yeah.
Bloody have a beer with us at the Albion.
Anything else to do with footy that's relevant at the moment?
No, nothing else. Nothing else. Guys, hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to like and subscribe, alright? I'll be fucking checking, alright? I'll be fucking checking who's liking those videos. Alright?
And let's get more than 40, so that'd be great.
Let's get 400,000.
And we also want someone to sponsor us. We've got a physio cream.
Stella Artois. We've got Stella Artois placemats.
Yeah.
We've got Sharon.
We've been chief editor says cut it.
All right, cut it.
Tune in next time for another episode.